Dr. Sean, Gallagher Performance, addressing the question of how do you build an athlete? And in order to have an appreciation for some of the intricacies of building an athlete, we first have to understand a few things. One, that they need to be practicing their sports skill on a regular basis. All right, so if we're talking baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey, football, what have you, they must be practicing their sports skill on a regular basis. Secondly, they need to be doing the things that they need to be doing to stay healthy. So whether that's built into a strength and conditioning program or they take it upon themselves to do the little things to maintain adequate balance from a structural standpoint within their body, and as well as making sure they're practicing proper nutrition and rest protocols, all big components that we address here with all of our athletes and clients that we work with, because they are ultimately the biggest reasons for the adaptations that we make from training, and as well as keeping the body healthy and continually adapting and progressing from a long-term perspective. Then we can look at, thirdly, from a standpoint of power development. Keep in mind that the athletes that we primarily work with are power speed athletes. If you look at the sports of soccer, football, hockey, baseball, lacrosse, basketball, so on, even some of the track and field disciplines, sprinting and throwing, the majority of the athletes we have walking in our door participate in any one of those sports. Fundamentally speaking, their sports are based in the power speed, or what would be known as the absolute speed, absolute strength continuum. And identifying where an athlete resides on this continuum can play a major role in terms of what we do with them from a programming standpoint and what we have to do from a developmental standpoint to see further increases in their athletic ability. So if we look at one end of the spectrum here, the absolute speed, all right, this is where most athletes reside. If you think about young kids who are participating in sport from almost a year-round perspective now, very little time from the off season, heavy competitive schedule, and even when they're not within a competitive season, typically they're still practicing a big chunk of the year. And most sports skill is going to reside on this absolute speed side of things, with sprinting, jumping, throwing, those type of abilities. Most sport uses very light implements. If you look at even the weight of a baseball, about 5 ounces. Puck is just a matter of ounces. You look at a ball, whether it's soccer ball, football, even implements like baseball bats, golf clubs, they are very light in nature. And so that very light in nature makes you able to execute movements at higher and higher velocities. So a lot of athletes come to us, they're very reactive in nature, even because of the amount of free plays that some of these kids have done. Again, more absolute speed. And a lot of the kids then that come to us, they spend so much time on this end of the spectrum, yet they want to get faster, they want to get more powerful, jump higher, and so on. But there's little that they've ever done on the absolute strength side of things. A lot of athletes tend to hate the weight room, but yet it's the one thing that if you look from a power standpoint, power being a component of both speed and force production, and strength is the primary factor in the amount of force that we're able to produce. So therefore, if we're going to improve an athlete's ability who's already pretty reactive, we need to get them stronger. We need them to apply more force to the ground in order for them to run faster, jump higher, so on. So that said, a lot of the lifts, variations of some of the big things, squats, bench, deadlifts, that's where these come in. Once we're able to therefore increase strength levels, then we can spend some time in the middle where we're doing some more strength speed dependent work or speed strength dependent work. These would be more so of your Olympic lift variations, jumps, throws, weighted, unweighted, sled work, carries, so on, can be pieced throughout to systematically develop some of those power needs. And then understanding even positional requirements, especially if you look at the sport of football, there's going to be differences within alignment as opposed to a skill player. And then we can look at across disciplines such as whether it's hockey, baseball, again, lacrosse, sports like this, where you're going to have a tremendous more speed strength component than maybe say a lineman in football, who is going to be a little bit more strength speed oriented. So that said, what we want to be able to do is develop strength, kind of work them towards the middle, and then again, we want to feed the ability to have that absolute speed then transfer into greater on-field performances, greater athletic ability. And as long as they're practicing their sports skill on a regular basis, they're doing the little things that they need to do to stay healthy, promote adaptation, and keep their body going in the right direction, then all of these things are going to feed a young athlete from a long-term perspective in terms of developing the athleticism and maximizing their potential. So hope this was a helpful video. It's just one component of how we approach athletic development here at Gallagher Performance. Feel free to drop us some questions, comments, like this, share it. Appreciate you listening. Thank you.